Welcome. Thank you so much for joining and sharing your practice. I'm Sam, and this week's theme is all about compassion. So the invitation is to open your heart to compassion for yourself and, of course, for others as well. And there's no need for any special props unless you like to use a block or maybe a pillow or a cushion to sit up on for the opening meditation. And then you can grab anything else you might like to use, but it's not necessary. We're going to begin seated, so just take a few moments to kind of find your comfortable seat. That could be maybe cross-legged in Sukhasana, an easy seat. Or you're also welcome to maybe find a kneeling pose here, maybe hero's pose. And you can come to rest your hands over your legs, your knees. Move palms up if you would like to receive a little bit more energy. And palms down if you feel like you need a little bit more grounding at the start of your practice. And then when you're ready, start to close your eyes. And letting yourself take these first moments to really landing into the space that you're in, landing onto your mat, and landing into your body. Maybe feeling your legs relaxing down, your sitting bones connected to maybe your cushion or maybe your mat, and supported by the earth beneath you. And as you ground down into your seat, maybe see if you can find a little bit more length up through your spine. So the crown of your head draws up toward the sky. You can maybe roll your shoulders back and down, creating a little bit more distance between your shoulders and your ears. And just as broad, heart is open. And maybe invite some more softness and space into your face. Easing your jaw, relaxing the space between your eyebrow center. And sitting here with this relaxed attentiveness. And when you're ready, begin to guide your awareness towards your breathing. So simply observe your natural breath. There's no need to change or control your breath in any way. Simply notice. One way of noticing your breath could be observing wherever your breath feels the most prominent for you. And so that might be the flow of air moving in and out of your nose. Maybe you notice the movement in your belly or your chest. And letting yourself simply observe the natural rising and falling of your breath in your body, just as it is. The invitation for this practice is to open your heart to compassion. Practicing with acceptance, kindness, not judgment toward yourself and your body. And we gently start to open our hearts. We can welcome in more compassion toward ourselves, which we can then share out with those around us. Starting right where you are now. Maybe taking a moment to bring your hands toward your heart space. And simply observe where you're at, how you're feeling, without judging. With acceptance, letting this be the starting point for your practice. Right where you are, exactly as you are. And if you like, you might start to deepen your breath here. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. From this place of connectedness and presence, acceptance. And then if you moved your hands, maybe bringing your hands back to your heart space. Maybe they're already still there. And if you'd like to maybe set an intention or make a dedication for your practice, feel free to do that now. That might be a quality or an affirmation or something like that that might come to mind. You might choose to maybe dedicate your practice to someone or something that you think might need a little bit more compassion. Maybe something that's even quite challenging for you. And see if you can cultivate that compassion and share it toward that person or that thing. Holding your dedication or your intention in your mind's eye, take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, sigh out from your mouth and bow your head toward your heart. Sealing your intention. You can start to release your hands down alongside your body. And whenever you feel ready, begin to float your eyes open. Coming back into the space that you're in. And then from here, on your next inhale, start to stretch your arms out wide, draw your heart forward, so you arch your back. If you don't have space, depending on the space that you're in, you can always cactus your arms. So we inhale. And then as you exhale, start to round your back and give yourself a hug. So wrap your right arm over your left arm. Feel that opening of your upper back muscles. Breathing in, expand, heart lifts. And breathing out, wrap your left arm on top. So you round your back. As you inhale, you open your back. Or front rather, expand your heart. And right arm over, exhale, rounding. One more. And exhale, left arm over. Let's take a final inhale to expand your heart. And this time as you breathe out, simply float your arms along your sides. You can remove anything out from underneath you. So if you were using a cushion or a block, we're going to move to all fours. So transitioning to your all fours, your hands and knees. So your shoulders are over your wrists and your knees are underneath your hips. Your belly is already on here. So gently draw the pit of your belly in and up. Moving through some cat and cow. So as you breathe in, start to drop your belly, tilt your pelvis out, lift your heart. Inhale. And then on your exhale, you're going to start to round your back. So really press away through your hands, draw your chin in, navel draws in towards your spine. Breathing in, arch your back, cow. Breathing out, moving through your cat. Finding as much lift and space between your vertebrae as you can. And moving through a few rounds of cat and cow in your own pace. Noticing what speed or what pace feels good for your breathing here. And see if you can let your breath guide your movement. You might close your eyes so you can move a little bit more embodied. And if you want, feel free to maybe find some free movement. So that could be maybe kind of swaying from side to side. Or it could be maybe moving your body in circular motions. Maybe figures of 8. Anything that might feel good for you at this time. Observing what your body needs and making choices from that place. There's no right or wrong way to do this, so feel free to explore. And simply stay connected to your breath. Let's take 2 more full deep breath cycles here. When you finish your 2 breaths, come back to find your neutral all fours. Now, your next inhale, you're going to reach your right arm up to the sky. Find that twist. And then thread the needle as you breathe out. So right hand sweeps underneath your left arm, palm facing up, and come to lay your right shoulder on your mat. And then you choose either keep your left hand here, you might walk it further forward, or you want to maybe find more of a rotation, you might inhale to sweep your left arm up to the sky, possibly staying there. Or maybe exhale, find a half bind, bringing your left hand towards your right thigh. You're keeping your knees and your hips well aligned here. And staying with your breath. And 1 more breath. As you inhale, your left arm lifts, and exhale, bring your left hand back to where it was. We're going to inhale, right arm rises, and then exhale, landing your hand back down, opposite side. Raise your left arm, breathe in. And breathing out, thread your arm through and underneath your right hand. Hips over knees. Either stay here or you might like to walk your left hand further forward. Or you could also maybe breathe in to raise your left arm up. And then breathe out, maybe taking this bind. Your right hand towards your upper left thigh. Just an option. Your heart is spinning open to the right side of your body. And taking 1 more breath here. And maybe breathing in, lift your right arm up. And breathing out, place your hand back down where it was at the beginning. Breathing in to twist, left arm lifts. And breathing out, ground your left hand. Now from here, you can tuck your toes under. Take an inhale, move through your cow, arch your back. And then as you exhale, start to round your back and lift your knees to a hover. Not too high, so about 1 inch. Land your knees, breathe in, arch your back. And breathe out, hover your knees. And finding that cat shape with hovered knees. 1 more. And then from here, keep your knees hovering. Start to draw your spine forward. So you're finding more of a neutral spine here with your knees hovering. Still about 1 inch. And knees are not too far forward of your hips or too far back. They're still about underneath your hips. Creating space across your upper back. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch your legs, find your downward facing dog. Adjust your hands and your feet as you need to. And maybe bend and straighten your legs a few times, opening up your hamstrings. Really make sure that you're really gripping your mat evenly, so your fingertips, your knuckles, and your palms are all pressing down here. And you're really pressing the ground away. You're drawing your torso towards your thighs. Your heels are moving down toward the mat, but they don't need to touch. If you've got that availability, of course, go for it. It's not necessary. It's more of that energetic action. Let's take one more breath here. We're going to do some plank waves. So as you inhale, come high onto the balls of your feet. Start to wave yourself forward into your high plank. And then as you exhale, start to bend your knees and draw your hips back until you can lengthen your legs. So inhale, wave your spine forward, think cat. And then as you exhale, you might even arch your back and think cow as you draw yourself back a little bit more. So we inhale, roll forward. And exhale, bend your knees, draw your hips back, and then lengthen your legs. 2 more. Now, your next inhale, you're going to roll forward, high plank. And then as you exhale, lower your knees to a hover. As you breathe in, lower your knees, arch your back. And then as you breathe out, you can untuck your toes, slide your hips back towards your heels. Place your hands behind you, fingertips away from you. As you inhale, start to lift your heart. And either stay here, as you exhale, you might lift your hips. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, lower your seat back down. I'm going to breathe in, find all fours again. And breathe out, downward facing dog. Just one more round like that. Breathing in, ripple forward. And hover your knees, breathe out. Lower your knees, inhale into your cow, arched back. And then exhale, draw your seat back towards your heels. Your hands behind you. Breathing in, expand your heart. Either stay here or maybe as you exhale, lift your hips. Take another expansive breath in. And on your exhale, let your hips sink back down. All fours as you breathe in. And tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Breathing out. We pause here for a breath. And you can start to slowly walk your feet towards your hands, sitting about hip width apart, and find a forward fold. But for this variation, interlace your hands behind your lower back, and then start to extend and lift your arms up and over your head. And you can bend your legs as much as you need to here, so supporting your lower back, rather than kind of rounding through your lower back. And your choice if you want to stay in stillness, or feel free to move from side to side. One more breath. Start to release your hands down. And then really slowly take a full inhale and exhale to get there. Start to roll up your spine. And come to meet in your mountain pose or Tadasana. The palms open. Start to root down through your feet. Thighs are active. Core is on. Gliding your tailbone down. And creating space across your chest, reaching up through the crown of your head. Next inhalation, sweep your arms up, palms touch overhead. And then as you exhale, start to fold forward, leading with your heart. Lowering forward fold. Find a flat back as you breathe in. Hands can come to shins. You can extend forward from there, and maybe your fingertips are down, you might bend your knees. And then exhale, fold. We'll do 2 more half lifts. So inhale, crown of your head forward, hips back, long spine. And exhale, bow. Last one. And this time as you exhale, ground your hands and step back into a high plank. Just hold here for a couple of extra breaths this first round. So your shoulders are over your wrists. Your heels are drawing back. And then notice if you're kind of collapsing, you don't want to press the ground away. And you're filling in that space. You're puffing up the area of your upper back at the same time as sliding your your shoulder blades towards your spine. Core is on. Thighs are super active. One more breath. And we inhale. And then on your exhale, make your way all the way to the mat. So that could be knees lifted, or maybe you lower your knees, coming all the way down onto your belly and untuck your toes. Tense your fingers, coming onto your fingertips, sit your hands out wider than your mat, maybe slightly in front of your shoulders. And as you breathe in, start to lift your heart. Look over your right shoulder, so finding a slight twist. And breathe out, melt your heart to the floor. Breathing in, rising up, look over your left shoulder. And breathing out, ground. This time as you inhale, draw up through center. And then as you exhale, float to the floor. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up through all fours, breathing in. And downward facing dog, breathing out. Pausing for 3 breaths. Keep pressing the ground away with your hands. Heels drawing toward the earth. At the base of your next exhale, start to bend your knees, bring your gaze forward, and either step or float your feet toward your hands. Finding a flat back as you breathe in, and a forward fold as you exhale. Rise up to standing, lead with your heart. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands through heart center, and releasing Tadasana. Again, breathing in, lift your arms, palms touch. And fold forward, breath out, melting your heart towards your legs. Find your flat back as you breathe in, just one time. And as you breathe out, place your hands down again and step back into your high plank. Just pausing here for one inhale, hold your strength. And exhale, make your way all the way down onto your belly, lowering your knees as you do, or maybe knees lifted. Hands stay underneath your shoulders this time as you inhale, lift your heart. And cobra, and exhale to the ground. Do 2 more, breathing in, lift. And breathing out, ground. 1 extra one, lift, inhale. And exhale, lower. Breathing in, press up through your all fours. And breathing out, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Thighs are on here. Your triceps are rotating back towards your thighs and your biceps are rotating forwards. Core is on. And at the base of your next exhale, start to bend your knees, look forward, and step or float your feet in between your hands. Extend your spine as you breathe in. And bow towards your legs as you breathe out. Rising up tall, lead with your heart, breath in. And breathing out, lower your arms. Releasing into Tadasana. I'm going to come into our chair pose from here. You start to bend your knees, send your hips back, and then as you inhale, sweep your arms alongside your ears. Your thighs are active here and you're drawing in your inner thighs toward each other. Core is on. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, start to extend your arms behind you like airplane arms and hover your heels, lift your heels. So inhale, heels lower, arms lift. And exhale, arms draw back, heels lift. Breathing in. And breathing out. 1 more. And exhale, heels lift. Last time we simply inhale. And this exhale, fold forward. Find your flat back as you breathe in. And then ground your hands, step or jump back. Move through your variation of low plank. And then maybe this time you might come up into an upward facing dog if you feel ready. Lifting your hips. Maybe cobra. And then send your hips to the sky, downward facing. Excuse me. From here, rise your right leg up to the sky. Breathe in. And as you exhale, step your right foot in between your hands towards your right thumb. Back heel is lifted. Firm your front foot, firm your thighs. And then as you inhale, you're going to rise up. Take your arms wide for this high lunge. You can send your heart forward. Make sure your core is on. Pause here for a breath. And take another expansive breath in, create space. And then as you exhale, you're going to interlace your hands behind your back. Take an inhale, send your palms down, lift your heart. And then a humble warrior variation as you breathe out. So start to bow forward over your front leg and you're lifting your arms up and over your head. You could also bow on the inside of your right leg if you prefer. And on this first round, we pause for a breath. Your next inhale, release your arms, rise up, high lunge. And then as you breathe out, warrior two, so spin your back heel inward. Make sure your front knee is tracking over your ankle. Find broadness across your chest. Core is on. Now flip your front palms up to extend your arm forward as you breathe in, lifting back, reverse warrior. And maybe slide your left hand around your front thigh. Keep that bend into your front knee. Take an expansive breath in, feel that stretch through the whole right side body. And then as you exhale, windmill your hands to the earth, picking up your back heel, and stepping back, moving through your flow, or straight back to downward facing dog. Upward facing dog or cobra on an in-breath. And then downward facing dog on your out-breath. Left leg extends up and back, breathe in. And then step that foot forward between your hands as you breathe out. Find your grounding first before we lift. And then as you inhale, take your arms wide. So arms wide, high lunge. And pause, breathing out. Take another expansive breath in here. Make sure your core is on. And then as you exhale, interlace your hands behind your lower back. Breathe and lift your heart. Draw your palms down your thigh. And then a humble warrior variation with these high lunge legs as you exhale. Chest draws forward, arms lift up and over your head. We'll pause here for a breath this first round. Again, feel free to lower on the inside of your left leg if you prefer. Your next inhale, release your arms, high lunge. And then ground your back foot, spinning the heel in, opening up warrior two. Breathing out. You feel that strength here. Broadness across your collarbones. Reverse your warrior as you breathe in. Maybe wrap your back hand, or your right hand rather, around your left thigh. Notice if you've kind of loosened that bend in your front knee, keeping it where it is. Knee tracking over the ankle still, so it's not wobbling in or out. Final deep breath in. And your out breath, you take your hands to the mat in a downward facing dog. We'll continue in your exhale through your chaturanga, low plank, elbows in. Breathing in, expand across your chest. And breathing out, draw your hips up and back, downward facing dog. I'm going to pause here for 3 deep breaths. And then we're going to flow through one more round of this on each side, but a bit faster. So one movement, one breath. Preparing for the right side. Breathing in, stretch the right leg long. And breathing out, step it forward between your hands. High lunge, arms wide, inhale. And exhale, hands interlaced behind your lower back. Breathing in, lift your heart. And then breathing out, humble warrior. Keeping your back heel lifted, this one. Breathing in, arms alongside your ears, rising up, high lunge. And warrior two, exhale. Reverse warrior, breathe in, take your left hand around your front thigh. And then as you breathe out, take your hands to the mat. Either move back to downward facing dog or move through your variation of Vinyasa. And see if you can move with intention. One more side to go. Take your left leg up and back, stretching it long, breathe in. And step forward, low lunge, breathing out. High lunge, wide arms in breath. And hands in place slightly behind your back, breath out. Lift your heart, inhale. And humble warrior, or humble high lunge as you exhale. Rise up strong, breath in. And open your hips, warrior two, breath out. Reverse, breathe in, wrap your right arm around your left leg. And breathing out, hands to frame your front foot. And stepping back down dog or moving through your vinyasa. Your choice to stay here in downward facing dog. You want more of an active rest. Well, you could also, of course, come to child's pose. That's always an option. Or otherwise, puppy pose. So you can lower your knees, keep your toes tucked under. Just walk your arms forward, keeping your knees over your hips. And start to ground your forearms and your forehead down. This is a heart opener. Maybe another nice way to maybe settle in for a few restful breaths. Staying connected to your breath. And take 2 more deep breaths here. If you want to maybe sigh out your exhale, you're more than welcome. And take your time to start to transition back into your down dog. So if you're in your puppy pose, you might lift yourself up, walk your hands back under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and lift your hips. Extending your right leg up to the sky, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, knee to heart. Breathing in, leg lifts. And knee to heart, exhale. One more, breathing in. And breathing out. This time, hold it there, press the ground away more. Lift yourself up. So lifting through the back of your heart. And then step your foot forward. Doing your high lunge feet. On your in-breath, rise up, high lunge. And moving straight into warrior two on your out breath. Reverse warrior, inhale. And to wrap your arm again around your front leg. Pause, exhale. Your next in-breath, stay where you are with your torso and arms. Simply lengthen your front leg. And breathe out here. Take another inhale in this reverse triangle with the bind. And then as you breathe out, draw your torso up through center, keep the bind. Inhale, start to reach your chest forward, hips draw back. And then as you exhale, you're going to land in your Trikonasana with this bind, or half bind. Your right hand comes somewhere along your leg, or maybe on the floor somewhere if that's accessible for you. And keep lifting, so you're opening through your top hip, so spinning that open. As you draw length through your side body, crown of the head draws forward. And then you're opening with that bind, your top shoulder, a little bit more, maybe gaze up. Holding here, one more breath. And then your next inhale, rise up. And then exhale, you can release both hands. As you inhale, raise your arms over your head, spin your front toes in, so you're facing the long side of your mat, heels in, toes out. Take another breath in. And exhale, start to sink into your goddess. Your hands draw in front of your heart. And make sure that your femur bones are tracking in line with the angle of your feet, not wobbling in or maybe moving out too much. And then your knees are about over your hips. Your tailbone is gliding down, hands at heart. As we inhale, take your arms wide, send your heart forward, keep your legs where they are. And exhale, round your back, right arm crosses over, just like the beginning. Breathing in, expand across your front body. And breathing out, left arm over, you're expanding across your back body. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Left arm crosses, exhale. And then we simply inhale here, open your chest. And now on your exhale, you're going to pick up your back here, pivot. Take your hands to frame your front foot. So you're in a low lunge at the front of your mat. Ground your left hand, breathe in, right arm rises, side twist. And then as you breathe out, circle your right arm forward and down toward the ground on the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot toward the outside of your mat. And turn your toes out. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, ground your left knee and untuck your toes. Pausing here for another breath. Keep sending your heart forward. Could also be on fingertips. And breathing out. Your next inhale, you plant your left hand, sweep your right arm forward and up. And then as you exhale, draw your right arm back. And you could stay here, or if you want to add a quad stretch, you might start to bend your leg and catch your left foot with your left hand. You can keep rotating your heart open, maybe gazing up. One more breath. If you have the back foot, gently start to release it. As you inhale, take your hand up to the sky, right arm lifts. And exhale, place the hand down. Take your back toes under, breathe in, lift your left leg. And breathing out, downward facing dog. Let's repeat on the left side. Left leg draws up and back toward the sky, in breath. And knee to heart, out breath, hug the knee in. Breathing in, extend, elongate the leg back. And breathing out, knee to heart. One more. And last one, knee to chest, hold. Start to lift your hips around your back, hug your knee in as tight and as close as it can come. And then step your foot forward. Doing your high lunge feet. Rising out, high lunge in breath. Warrior two as you exhale. Adjust your feet as you need to. Reverse. Breathing in. Wrap your right arm around your left thigh. And pause. Breathe out. Just straighten your front leg. Breathing in. And pause in your reverse triangle. Exhale. Your inhale draws you up through center. Keep the bind. And you start to extend yourself forward. And as you breathe out, you can lower the left hand to your left leg, maybe to the floor. And keep rotating your heart open here. You can micro bend your knees if you need to. And notice if that hand's really heavy on your leg, see if you can make it a little bit lighter. Keep pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. Heart opening. One more breath. And from here, on your next inhalation, rising up. And exhale, releasing both your arms alongside your chest. Inhale, arms over alongside your ears. Pivot your front toes. Back heel in. And pivot your back foot so your toes are facing out toward the edges of your mat, heels in. And exhale, dropping into your goddess. Make sure your core is on here. You're gliding your tailbone down. So make sure you're not really arching or overly sticking your glute back. And this time we inhale, expand the chest again. And exhale, left arm crosses first. Round your back. Feel that stretch across your upper back muscles. Breathing in, open. Right arm crosses, breathing out. Maybe sink your hips an inch deeper. Inhale. Left arm on top. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Right arm crosses. Exhale. Like before, we inhale. And then your out breath, you start to pivot your feet, lift your back heel, frame your front foot. So low lunge, top of your mat. Right hand grounds, left arm lifts, breathe in. Now on your out breath, you circle your left hand down, place it on the inside of your left foot, heel toe, your left foot wide, and then turn your toes out. Your toes are out on an angle. Another inhale here. And then exhale, lower your back knee and tuck your toes. I'm just going to pause here for a breath in this lizard variation. You can place your right hand down so it's grounded. As you inhale, sweep your left arm forward and up. And then exhale, drawing your left arm back. So you're in a twisted lizard variation. And you either stay here, or if you want to add that quad stretch, you have to bend your right knee and reach back for your foot with your hands. If that's available, it's just an option. Keep rotating your heart up toward the sky. We're opening our hips here at the same time as creating space across our chest. Maybe at the same time as stretching your quad. One more full breath cycle. You start to release your back foot, breathing in. Left arm lifts up toward the sky. And breathing out, place your left hand inside the left foot. Back your back toes under. Inhale. Extend your right leg. And exhale, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Your choice to stay here or flow through Vinyasa. So inhale, wave your spine forward. Moving through Chaturanga, elbows wrapped in as you breathe out. Press into the tops of your feet, lift your heart in breath. And downward facing dog on your out breath. Pausing here for a breath, take a deep inhalation through your nose. And a full exhale out your mouth. And from here, start to bend your knees. And bring your gaze forward. And then we're going to step or float our feet to the top of the mat. Find your halfway lift as you inhale. And forward fold, exhale. Utkatasana, chair pose, breathe in. And exhale, arms behind you, heels lift. Inhale, heels ground, arms lift. And exhale, drawing back. One more. Now this time we inhale. And our exhalation, come to stand up. Move through a little balancing sequence. A couple of balancing poses on each side. So you can separate your feet hip width. And just take a moment to ground yourself, connect to your breath. Maybe take a deep inhale. And a full conscious exhale. And then start to shift your weight into your right foot. Lift your left leg and cross it over your right leg, coming into an eagle. So maybe you cross once, maybe your toes are grounded, or maybe you hook your leg all the way around. Extend your arms in front of you. And then wrap your left arm over, cross at the elbows. Forearms wrap, palms touch. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. And start to draw your elbows and forearms a little bit forward so you feel more opening across the back of your heart. Holding strength, core is on, hip bone space forward. We're opening up the back of the heart here. Taking one more breath. And your next inhale, start to uncross your arms, bring your knee in towards your chest. And then interlace your hands behind your lower back. Take an inhale here. Move through warrior three, keeping your arms where they are as you exhale. Start to extend your left leg behind you, flex the foot. The crown of your head is drawing forward, core is on, hips are square. And then your choice to stay here, or you could make this into more of a standing splits variation. Maybe by starting to bring your torso closer towards your standing leg. Keep opening across the front of your chest, drawing your shoulder blades together. One more breath. Maybe start to inhale, rise up. Knee to chest, arms extend. Exhale, extend your left leg long. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Then we move on to the opposite side. So just find your balance first, find your breath again, take your time. And when you're ready, you can shift your weight into the left foot. Cross your right leg over. Again, maybe wrap once, maybe twice, or maybe toes ground. Arms in front of you. Cross your right arm over the top. Wrap your forearms, palms touch. If this doesn't feel good, you can always just bring your forearms and palms together. But just sink your hips, keeping your spine upright here. Core on. Feel that space you can make across the upper back muscles, back of your heart space. Breathing into that space. One more breath. The next inhale, start to rise up, uncross your hands or arms. Right knee to chest. Interlace your hands behind your lower back. Take an inhale. Warrior 3 as you exhale. So start to bow forward as you press away through your right foot. Drawing shoulder blades together. Chest is broad, core is on, thighs are on. Either choose to stay here or maybe make it more of a standing splits variation. And maybe lowering your torso or your head closer towards your legs. Just an option. It doesn't matter so much how low you go, it's just an exploration. One more breath. If you wobble, totally normal. Simply come back in. The next inhale, you can rise up, knee to chest, arms lift. Exhale, extend your right leg this time. Lift the leg as high as you can. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it down. And shake it out. You can step toward the top of your mat. We have our final vinyasa. So maybe you might like to close your eyes for this one. You can move from that place of embodiment, connection. Arms draw up, breathe in. And forward fold, exhale. Elongate your spine, breath in. And step or jump back, high to low plank on your exhale. Lifting your heart, upward facing dog or cobra in breath. And downward facing dog, out breath. And take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to lower your knees to the mat. And then you can untuck your toes, shift your hips back towards your heels. So you can bring your big toes together and make your knees in a little bit of a V. It doesn't have to be super wide, but just so you have a gap between your knees. Place your right hand on the ground behind you, with your fingertips facing away from you. And as you breathe in, you're going to sweep your left arm in front of your face, circling it up as you lift your hips back bend. And then as you exhale, you're going to circle your hand back down again, lower your hips, take your left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm sweeps up, hips lift. And then exhale, right arm lowers, hips draw down, right hand grounds. The left arm lifts, hips lift, in breath. And exhale to ground, switch sides. Breathing in, lift your heart. Breathing out, it's oscillating camel. 2 more on each side. And feel that freedom across your front body as you inhale. 1 more round each side. And simply pause here for a moment. With your hands over your heart space. A moment to reconnect. Feeling your chest lift with every inhale, belly expands, and softening with every breath out. Finding compassion for yourself in this moment. One more breath here. If you close your eyes, you can open them up and transition back through all fours until you make it back into your downward facing dog. Pause here for one breath. And start to bend your knees, bring your gaze forward. And this time we're going to step or jump, crossing your ankles. Coming to sit down onto your sitting bones. Set your feet hip width. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips towards your heels. As you inhale, let to puff your chest, press down through your feet. And then as you exhale, you can lift your hips into a tabletop foot, reverse tabletop. Either gaze up or maybe toward your knees. If you choose to take your head all the way back, make sure you're not collapsing through your neck. Finding space across your chest, hips draw up, last in breath. And slowly ground down, out breath. Breathing in, extend your arms in front of you, long spine. And then breathing out, start to roll down onto your back. I'm going to find a plow pose from here. So you can bring your arms alongside your body. Knees coming toward your chest. And really press down through your arms and your shoulders and elbows so you're really basing your body here. And then you're going to bring your feet, your legs up and over your head. So horizontal, to lift your hips and then extend your legs back and over your head. And if your feet come to touch the ground, you might release your hands, or otherwise keep your hands on your lower back to support you here. Your legs might be floating. But keep your hands on your lower back, and there's no need to look around, so you want to protect your neck here. Core is still on. We've done lots of heart openers. As you might notice, you're finding this really deep stretch all the way along your spine, all the way along your legs. Two more breaths here. You could stay here if you want to find a shoulder stand. If your hands aren't already there, bring your hands towards your lower back. Bring your knees together and start to lengthen your legs up toward the sky. You're bringing your feet over your hips. Core is on. Neck is long. You might observe a shift in energy. Everything, blood starts to flow in the opposite direction. And shoulder stand is more of a yin or moon inversion. It can be calming for your nervous system, as opposed to, say, a headstand or something which is more of a yang inversion, or sun. Two more breaths. When you're ready, you can start to bend your knees. And then as you roll out, you can bring your hands down toward the mat and really carefully roll out one vertebrae at a time. So take your time. And then when you get there, you can extend your legs long. We'll take a counter pose, fish pose. So feet together, thighs together. And place your hands underneath your seat. Press down through your elbows as you breathe in, lift your chest up and place the crown of your head down. Point your toes. Let's take 3 lion's breaths here. So breathe in deeply. And open mouth, exhale, stick your tongue out. 2 more. And you come out of your fish pose, you can gently widen your elbows and draw your chin in and rest your back down. Move your hands from underneath your seat. Let's find a reclined figure 4. You can cross your right ankle above your left knee. You could either stay here, or you might thread your right arm through, left arm around. You might interlace your hands behind your left thigh, or maybe over your shin. And then as you draw your left thigh towards you, you can use your right elbow to open your hip. You can flex your right foot here to make it safer for your knee. Still keeping that softness in your face and across your chest. One more breath. And from here, you can let to bring your arms to a cactus shape or a T shape. And move into a supine twist. So you can slide your right leg around your left leg. And then start to let your knees fall toward the left. And then when you get there, you might sort of lift your hips up a little bit and reset them back down. And then gaze toward your right shoulder. If that's okay for your neck, otherwise face up. It's too much for you with the right leg crossed over. They stack your knees. Becoming aware of any sensations that might be present in your body. And again, observing without judgment. See if you can have full acceptance for this moment. Everything exactly as it is. Having that compassion for yourself and your body. When you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So gently transition back through center. And it's time you can cross your left ankle above your right knee. And find your variation of your reclined figure 4. Just make sure to flex your left. Remember to be kind to yourself here, so there's no need for any efforting or force. Just be gentle and let your body open itself. When you're ready to move into your twist, you can take your arms to a cactus or a T. Slide your left thigh over your right this time. And shift your hips a little bit to the left and let your knees move toward the right. And face toward the left if that's okay for your neck. Maybe closing your eyes. And if you like, you could maybe take a moment to acknowledge something about yourself that maybe you're proud of, or you do well, be positive about yourself. It can be quite easy to think of things for other people, or maybe things we're grateful for other people. Let me see if there's something you want to acknowledge yourself, or maybe have some gratitude for yourself. And you feel ready, start to make your way back through center. Let your Hips shift back into the center of your mat and find a happy baby pose. Of course, if there's something else you'd like to do here, you're more than welcome. You can catch the inside of your feet or the outside with your hands. Feel lower back and tailbone grounded. And you might choose to rock, or you might choose to embody stillness. And whenever you feel ready, begin to make your way into your final pose, Shavasana. You can begin to stretch your legs long. Let your arms open, palms up. Closing your eyes. Letting go of any controlled breathing. And settling into that open, hearted, compassionate space inside of yourself. Resting into stillness. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. And simply pause the video or close your computer down. Otherwise, beginning to deepen your breath again. Moving your fingers and your toes. And if you like taking a full body stretch, maybe bringing your arms over your head, pointing your toes. Deep inhale, contracting all the muscles of your body. Open mouth, exhale, release everything. And take your time to bring your knees in towards your chest and roll to your right hand side. When you're ready, you can gently press yourself up to a seat. Maybe keeping your eyes closed if you can. When you get there, come to place your hands back over your heart space. One palm stacked on top of the other. And take a moment to notice how you're feeling. Noticing a shift in energy from the start of your practice. And having compassion for yourself and your body. And returning to the intention or dedication you set at the start of your practice. And we cultivate compassion for ourselves. We can then share it out with other people. And be more compassionate in the world and in our lives. We'll seal the practice with a final cleansing breath. Breathe in deeply. Full open mouth release. And bow your head toward your heart. Honoring yourself and the teacher within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in practice. And if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe, and you'll know when a new one comes out. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening.